Star Wars Visions Issue 1 heads to a desert world where two droids wander the sand dunes. The protocol droid laments how it's always them getting stuck on these adventures, thinking it'll be like this for the rest of their lives. He wonders if the village really is this way they are going, but the astromech doesn't actually know, causing his partner to tell him to just shut up. On a nearby cliff, the Sith Ronin confronts an old master, who tells him to wait since this place is a holy place, and if they are to fight, it will be somewhere else. He tells the droid, who he calls Boy, to come down and witness the duel, but the Ronin refuses to show him mercy, lunging at the old master. The master leaps down the cliff, using the various TIE fighters and other ships embedded into the rock face to break his descent, telling the Ronin that he doesn't seem to understand manners. The Ronin demands he draw his weapon, but the old master won't since he doesn't need to just yet, and the Ronin doesn't have enough will to kill him. The master lands at the bottom and the Ronin tries to drive his saber into him, but the old master unsheathes his own saber, thinking about how it's time he showed the boy how the sword should be wielded. He force pushes the Ronin into the nearby water as the astromech joins them from the cliff, told to witness the might of his master. Both Sith engage in a vicious fight across the water and beach, with the Ronin again being dumped into the water. The old master, who's taken up residence on a tree, says that the Ronin can't fight underwater, wondering what he's going to do now. In the past, the old master finishes up his fishing in the water when he finds an old, low-powered astromech. He drags the droid back through all of the debris and wreckage of the destroyed ships around them to the little settlement he lives in, bartering with the others who live there for parts to help him rebuild the droid and give him a new life. The droid begins to act as part of the village, delivering errands and drinks to a group. One says that Okina, the old master, has looked good since the droid came to them, and he seems to have a brighter face, though not that you can see it thanks to the mask he always wears. The droid wonders if he can get a new leg soon, and the Sullustan thinks that he'll get him a brand new one in no time, but the others think that the old master can't really keep his promises. Okina comes by and the droid blurts out an insult, but the Trandoshan knows that the droid is just being honest about them all, making the group laugh. The years pass and Okina cares for the droid and the droid cares for him, and they enjoy the life they have together. But soon many of the people in the village leave or die off of old age until only Okina and the droid are left. One night as Okina rests, he has a vision of the future, seeing his droid partnered with a young Ronin and that they go on many adventures together, and he has his new leg. The next day, Okina and the droid walk up the cliff above the village, noting how after 10 years, they are the only two left. Reaching the top of the tower, Okina sits with the graves of his friends, placing flowers on their graves as he prays alongside his droid. After a while, he tells the droid that the pollution around them is getting worse, and he probably won't be alive for much longer, but when he goes, he hopes the droid will give him a proper send-off. The droid wonders if he can have a leg made for him before he goes, and Okina promises to do so, but he tells the droid of the dream he had and how, unlike the nightmares he usually gets, he saw his friend traveling the galaxy with a young Ronin and a bright new leg, and he looked happy. In the present, the master attacks the Ronin again, dodging his slash and causing the Ronin to hit the water, which turns it to steam as it contacts the saber blade. As the steam rises, the master attacks through it, but is ultimately bested by the Ronin, who manages to slice through his mask. Okina compliments the Ronin, knowing that this is how living by the sword ends. He hopes that the Ronin will never forget this as he falls over dead. The Ronin drags the master's body to the shoreline, where his droid tries his best to wake the master, but nothing works. Later on, the Ronin burns Okina in a funeral pyre, praying to the flames as the droid watches on. In the near past, the old master laughs at the fact the droid doesn't understand what a dream is. The Ronin appears behind them, saying that he's been looking for the old master for a while now, knowing that he is one of the 4 sword saints, and the one who shatters the galaxy with nothing but a name. He challenges Okina to a duel, and the old master notices that he's been Sith-style trained, citing that that's very old school. He knows that if they do duel, either of them could die, but the Ronin, removing his own hat, understands the rules. Okina notices that the man is from his dream, understanding it all now, and he tells the droid that if something is to happen to him, he is to go with this Ronin, since he is the right partner for him, Standing, Okina says that he had a good life, but they can't stay away from their destiny of the swordsman, since it's the way of the sword. In the present, the Ronin leaves with Okina's hat, asking if the droid is coming with him. The droid follows him, and the Ronin puts the old master's hat on the droid as they leave the funeral pyre to burn into the night. Out in the desert, the two droids from before continue to traverse the desert, having been turned around in the sand dunes. The protocol droid tells his partner that he is a fool, and once they finally get to where they are going, he is done with the adventures.